Windows is lying to you and it's not showing you the truth. It all started when I was looking at an article from Pavel Yosifovich, and this is a co-author through of the great books Windows Internals that are about how Windows work and everything. And it was an article about the mysteries of the registry, and he mentioned a tool he made called Total Registry. That's an enhanced version of the regedit tool, registry editor tool that we all know and love. And he mentioned a lot of things about how the registry works and what keys mean what, and things that we can see that are lies. So here it's pretty simple here. If I go in local machine system, you go, I got current control set 001, current control set, everything. It's pretty simple. I got some users here. Now, if I'm telling you this is a lie, and it looks more like this. Now, if I go in local machine here, you'd see that in system, current control set has this little icon, and it has this symbolic link thing. So this current control set is basically just a shortcut, a link, a copy that is linked to current control set 001. So basically every time you change something in here, it's gonna get changed in here and vice versa. So that's why sometimes you see tweakers that don't know what they're doing, and then you just open an optimization with Notepad, a dot batch, and then you see that there's some optimizations that change in 001, some that change in current control set, and you're like, well, I don't understand, I'm a bit confused and everything, and what's the difference? There's no difference. From what I've seen, and people that power users that you make scripts and regedit scripts and everything, there's kind of this unknown rule that we use current control set when we want to change a setting, and that's fine. It's fine by me, and less numbers, and I don't even have to think about that. But yeah, that's a little thing that's interesting. Sometimes there's links like this that you can't see in the real registry. See, there's a lot of things I can't see these keys. Well, that's normal, but for example here, yeah, can't see it. Anyways, so everything in local machine will affect your OS, regardless of if you make another user. And if everything in current user will only affect your user. So if you make another user, it won't change. It will change back to default settings. So current user, funny enough, is another link to here. Didn't even see the change. Yeah. So this one and this one are the same. So there's a lot of users here. This 18 one is a link to this .default one. So .default and 1518 are the same. This is the system user. This one is the local service user, and this one is the network service user. These are three users that are extremely important for Windows to work properly. And then real users get an ugly one. If you have multiple ones, then you probably have multiple users. Only got one here, and we won't go into the classes one. It's a bit advanced. But this is my user, Jonathan. And it's just a link to current user. It's the same thing, really. Now, we've got current user local settings. So this is just a shortcut from I think he mentioned it in the article. Excuse me, I can't remember the entire path. This one. But yeah. So this path, HK local machine, system, current control set, hardware profile current is just another link to here. Current config. Yep. And current user local settings, don't know. Now you'll see that sometimes there's these weird little things here. Like icons that I can't access. So this means I don't have access to it. These are for the system user and not for me to see. So you don't see this icon in the real, not the real, the fake, but official registry editor. Local machine, SAM. Here you see, I don't see any options, and there are options. That's the thing, but you can't see them. You don't have access to. But you can, for example, here go in permissions and change everything. I don't know the name of my user. What is it? Jonathan. Jonathan. Check names. Boom. I'm now the owner of this thing. Follow Jonathan. Full control. Boom. Apply. And yeah, now I have access and I can see keys that I previously wouldn't be able to see. If I refresh this, boom. And there's still a lot more things I can see with this editor. Oh, okay, I just needed a refresh. That's okay. Yeah. So you can change a couple of them. There's some keys that I've seen in the past that you cannot change. They're like super locked. Anyways. Now, there is this thing. Well, you'll see your standard registry and you'll see the registry. And you'd go, well, what is it? Is it the same thing? Well, this is the real registry. Now, Windows lies to you. It goes, yeah, so this is your registry, man. Don't worry about it. Everything's there. But then machine is linked to local machine here. User is linked to current user here. And then there's a bunch of little things that you don't have access to see and that we won't show you. Because you shouldn't see that. And especially this little A thing, which I don't have access to see, but if I open, for example, Process Explorer here, and I find handle and I go registry \A, I can see the keys that are in here. And there's a couple of ones. These are keys for Windows Microsoft Store apps to function properly. So it's not that interesting. It's not that important. Anyways. One last thing I wanted to discuss. Two things. First, I mentioned BCD00 blah 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 here. This is your BCD edit. So You probably know of BCD edit in terminal. I can see all my partitions. I have a dual boot here. I have my main Windows 11 OS and another Windows 11 OS here. And that's surprising. If you see a recovery sequence here, 988, and this one is 988. And then objects, you can see there's a couple here that start with 988. So that's my OS. Now, the recovery environment is the 610 one, this one. So yeah, recovery environment. If you don't know what the recovery environment is, it's that thing. I'm sure you've seen it in the past. And then there's other more complicated things like the resume object and the Windows environment, which that's outside of the scope of this video, but 60E, that's 60E, and the 611 here, Windows recovery. And then the only one left is the 60F, and that's the real one. That's this, Windows bootloader. And you can see everything, Windows 11, main OS, English, US, and blah, blah, blah. And it's very interesting because up until now, we've always changed BCD edit settings inside of the terminal, like this, BCD edit boot menu policy legacy, and then set here. Now here you can see that it's at 1, this thing, and if I set it here, and I refresh, boom, it's at 0. Oh wow, so it turns out that if you change it in here, change it in the registry, and that's basically it for everything. Everything you change in the terminal, it's gonna appear somewhere in your registry whatsoever. Everything's stored there. It's impressive. But the rest is like these 4 things, I can see that that's my other OS because there's a lot of them. And the rest is more a little advanced stuff that not even I really know about how it works yet. IPv4 network things and other drives that are there for the boot manager, and you see what I mean? Just Windows boot things. Example, I think if I go into disk management here, takes a little bit of time to load. Whilst this load, there's an option here to replace regedit.exe. That's really great. So when you know more of this, poop, and there is a little option here, extra hives. There's more? Yes, there is. Let's exit that. So yeah, so what's not shown, this recovery partition, these other partitions. EFI partition, system partition. Anyways. And if I open it again, regedit.exe, there's more? There is. 1, 2, 3. And it's not that impressive. They're empty. But at first I was super excited because I saw the word performance and I was like, okay, undiscovered performance. Let's skyrocket hone to another level. Turns out they're empty. And they were used in Windows before Windows 2000, so they're really old. Why has Microsoft not deleted them? Backwards compatibility, laziness, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are really old that rely on making Windows work. you'll be impressed. Internet Explorer is still inside of Windows because it's one of the core of Windows. Windows can't work without Windows Explorer. Internet without Internet Explorer. Let's see. Internet Explorer. You see, it's everywhere. Now you've probably went to program files once and you saw like Internet Explorer and you're like, man, isn't that like 2010? It is. It's really old, but without this, Windows does not work. Like I think I've deleted it once when I was younger, and Windows Explorer, like this thing, did not open. So yeah, it's me. There's a lot of things that Microsoft can't change. Well, they could, but it would take a lot of work. Yeah, so the infrastructure of Windows sometimes is a mess. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys learned something today. I sure did, and see you guys in the next video. See ya.